Do we back a below average Premier League forward with 2 easy fixtures against Everton away and Burnley at home, over the best forward in the whole league with 1 easy fixture against Wolves away? We're going to analyse the data to find out, and I've thrown an ultra differential in the mix as well. That's Bowen against Sheffield United at home. We're going to start by taking a look at the non-penalty stats per 90 minutes for this season. At a glance you can see that Haaland is towering over the other 2 players. To be fair to Morris, his underlying stats are based on a small sample size of 5 games, and he could play up to 180 minutes, so you could double his stats, and they still are underwhelming. I'm not creating any excuses for him, but that is an explanation. So based on that information, it's not looking good for Morris so far. I'm not going to rule him out yet though. They're the non-penalty stats. Morris and Haaland are both on penalty duties for their respective clubs. None of them take free kicks or corners. However, for Bowen, he does take some indirect free kicks, direct free kicks and corners. As for penalty duties, it does depend who's on the pitch. Looking at the probability, Haaland's got the highest anytime goal scorer odds with 58%. It's actually Bowen who's got the highest anytime assist odds with 28%. A good thing for Bowen that's not represented on the screen is the fact that he gets an extra point per goal scored, so his anytime goal scorer odds aren't quite as bad as they look either. Haaland's got the highest anytime return odds. There's a 67% chance of him not blanking. That's 6% more than Morris. Now there is something that we need to take into consideration, and that's appearance points. Haaland will probably get 2, and Morris will probably get 4. So with those 2 additional appearance points, that's 2/3 of an assist, or half a goal. So in most cases, I'd say that Morris outscores Haaland, but Haaland's got that higher ceiling. So you can say that Morris has got the higher floor. This is something that's reflected in the points projections. Morris has got the highest overall on Fantasy Football Fix with 8.1. He's also got the highest on FPL Review, not by quite as much, but he's still got 7.3. To be fair, it's not just the appearance points that are factored into this equation, it's the fact that Morris could play up to 180 minutes, and Haaland can only play up to 90 minutes. All things considered, I'd say it's neck and neck at this point. By comparing the opposition's defence, we can see how much easier it is to have a double game week against 2 easy teams than it is to have 1 easy fixture. Something that is surprising is the combined probability of Everton and Burnley keeping a clean sheet being 5% less than Wolves keeping a clean sheet on their own. I'm surprised because this relies on 2 events both occurring, but to be fair you can see the difference in City's attack and Luton's attack. To be fair to Morris, he has got the home advantage in one of his fixtures. Haaland's not got the home advantage whatsoever, but will that even matter for City? Before I draw up a conclusion, I'm going to carry out a quick risk assessment. I'm not concerned about the fitness of any of these 3 players. Both Haaland and Bowen have had a week's worth of rest. Morris has had 4 days, but he only played 15 minutes in that cup match, so it doesn't really matter. To be fair to Haaland and Bowen, they've only got 1 fixture, and their expected minutes are reliable. As for Morris, he could play up to 180 minutes. His expected minutes are decent considering he's got 2 fixtures, and it's a lot more than the other 2 players. Now it's time to decide. Bowen has fared much better than I thought he would, and to be fair he scored more than Haaland on the Fantasy Football Fix points projections, but I do think Haaland is better than him. Haaland's underlying stats are very promising, and they have been for the past couple of seasons. He tends to overperform them as well. I'm also a big fan of his higher ceiling because of his anytime goal scorer odds. But for me, Morris's anytime return odds aren't too far behind. Those 2 additional appearance points means that in most cases Morris will outscore Haaland, plus all the reasons that I've put on the screen. I think Morris is a better captain this game week. If you've made it to this point in the video, you've clearly found it informative. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos like this.